Hello all, this is the Happy Career Guru channel and I am Prasad. I will talk today about one of the things that I spoke about in my first video, where I talked about the buckle up model and where I said the K stands for knowing your blockers. Now there's a lot of blockers out there, so this series of knowing your blockers will have multiple videos in it. Let's start with the first one, which is where we deal with this one that people call the imposter syndrome. Now, what is this, right? How does it show up? Imagine yourself being promoted into a role of a manager where you suddenly crossed over a lot of your peers and now you're their manager. A lot of times, all of us at any given point in time may go into a period of self doubt, saying that, okay, why was I promoted? Why am I the right guy for the job? Now, all of us will be looking forward to this promotion. We would have even requested and got this promotion. But once you get into role, there is a level of hesitation that happens. It's almost like you're at a table and then you start questioning whether you should be at the table or not. Now, in many cases, when these things are not addressed in time, these things have a tendency to actually become self fulfilling prophecies. So, let's see what we can do about it. Now, what can we do about it, right? I have about 5 to 6 steps that I'm going to show in the next 2 or 3 minutes. And now, this is not a prescriptive list, which basically means that you can apply them in any order and you may not need to apply all of them. The important thing is to realize that you have to take an action when you start feeling getting these doubts about your own capability. The first thing is believe that you earned it. And now this is a very simple part, goes back to what I talked about belief, but think about it. There is somebody at a leadership level who had the faith in you, who saw something in you and chose you for a role. Now, when you start doubting yourself in that role, you may be doubting the people who actually made the decision too, right? So somewhere along the line, you start believing that you earned it, because end of the day, people won't put you in that place if you already did not demonstrate that you have the capability to do it. And frankly speaking, in some of these cases, when you have these doubts, maybe you should go and talk to them. Why did you hire me? Or why did you get me into this role? The second thing is, I'm not saying this is easy, which basically means that when you have these thoughts, you have to introspect, you have to acknowledge these feelings. These are very, very important, to acknowledge your own feelings and then ask the question, why are you feeling this way? And then you can go ahead and start addressing the root causes of why you believe what you feel today. The third thing is, many times this happens in the early part of getting into a new role. Give yourself time. There are roles that you will get into where you may not have the domain expertise, or you may not have the particular skill set that may be required, or you may want to be in that skill set but you're still growing in your own capability. Give yourself time and make sure that you set expectations to give yourself time with your own leadership team and so on and so forth. Seek help. Like I said before, 99.9% of the world out there is there to help you. You should seek help. The next thing is, I come back to one of the other things that I say, knowing your strengths. Again, when you look into the job and you got into the role, and let's say you sought out this role and got it, there was something inside of you, your own skills, your own strengths that you depended on when you applied for this job and got the job. Know your strengths and see the alignment, and if all of that is in order, then question, why are you feeling the way you're feeling? The next thing is, anchor back to the purpose. And this gets back to the same thing that I said in point number 2. Go back to your why. End of the day, you have a purpose. You are going on a path, some kind of a career journey. And if this particular stage, or where you are, that particular role, is in the path to your journey and your purpose, anchor back to it and then say that I'm still doing the right thing. Or if actually, by the way, any of this analysis tells you that maybe you're in the wrong place, that's another conversation altogether, but that's also a good thing. It's a good outcome to know that you're not in the right place. And finally, please be aware of the stories you tell yourself. Much of imposter syndrome is in your mind, and that's exactly where you need to address it. When you're telling yourself the false narratives, you also need to have an equal balance of the positive narratives so that you can actually manage this out. Now, this is not a comprehensive series of steps, folks. Go through the process, find a mentor, find a coach, go back to the people who hired you, do what it takes, but address it. Do not make the mistake of a thought or a feeling becoming an actual realization completely on the basis of your own actions. This is the Happy Career Guru. Everything depends on what you do. Okay? On that note, Please subscribe on LinkedIn and please subscribe on YouTube. You know where to find me. Thank you very much. This is Prasad signing off. I'll talk about other blockers in the coming days. Bye-bye.